JetBlue has a cult-like following. Despite recent scandals, their legroom and coach and wonderful mint service has earned them a dedicated fan base. Unfortunately, living in Chicago, I don't often get the chance to fly them, and there are no mint routes out of Chicago. But I recently flew from Chicago to Washington D.C., connecting in Boston on the Embraer E190 for $190. Does JetBlue live up to the hype? Let's find out. Oh boy. Things began with another pre-dawn pilgrimage to O'Hare. JetBlue flies out of Terminal 3 along with American, Spirit, and Alaskan. There's no lounges or priority pass here, but there is at least power under the seats. Each of the planes has a cringe-worthy name, and this one was Look at Blue Now! With very few passengers, and hence why the flight was so cheap, boarding was a casual affair. Boarding commenced 5 minutes early, and the door was closed 10 minutes later. The crew was unbelievably chipper for it being 5 a.m. The JetBlue Embraer E190s are getting old. It's a 2-2 layout with well-padded gray seats and small overhead bins. The seats are surprisingly comfortable, at least compared with improved slimline offering these days. When JetBlue says they have the most legroom in coach, they aren't lying. It's 32 inches in most seats, with 39 inches in even more space. There's a seatback monitor in every seat as well. While JetBlue's refreshed Airbus fleet has large touchscreens, the screens on the Embraer E190 didn't receive any love. I don't know if I was incredibly unlucky, but both of my JetBlue flights, I had a malfunctioning screen. As frustrating as this is, I believe it was made up for with free Wi-Fi. Not just free texting, the whole internet. While the download speed was good, upload was seriously throttled, but it was quite usable. Until Delta does this in a year or two, this is a major reason to fly JetBlue. We took off from Chicago just as the sun rose. I was able to stretch out as I had an empty seat next to me. There's a standard beverage and snack service, though the snacks are more varied and substantial than mainline carriers. Landing at Boston Logan is always fun, as you skim Boston Harbor and land only appears at the very last moment. Although I only had an hour layover, I made a beeline to the lounge, seriously that's the name, which I accessed with Priority Pass. If I were flying in business class on TAP or Aer Lingus, I'd be disappointed. But as a domestic lounge, I was pleasantly surprised. The seating is varied and has nice views of the tarmac. There's a bar and dedicated bartender even in the morning. And there was a decent enough spread, including granola, crepes, eggs, and oatmeal. Coffee isn't anything special, and it's the same packets I have in my office. My only gripe was that there's no dedicated Wi-Fi, but the whole airport has public Wi-Fi available. After a quick meal, I hoofed it back to my gate. A quick note here, even without a lounge, Boston Logan has a really nice variety and quality of food options, in stark contrast to Chicago's Midway Airport. Coincidentally, I had the same aircraft and cabin crew as my first flight. Although we finished boarding 20 minutes prior to departure, takeoff was delayed by 40 minutes due to delayed provisioning. We flew over Boston, the inner harbor of Baltimore, and approached Washington National Airport to land. Landing in DCA is always fun, as due to restricted airspace on both sides of the river, you do the Potomac shimmy, as the plane follows the curves of the river. I was on the Virginia-looking side of the plane, so we started the run at CIA headquarters at Langley, flew over Roslyn, the Iwo Jima Memorial and Arlington National Cemetery, past the Pentagon, before a final hard bank to line up with the runway. So JetBlue Embraer 190. In some ways I'm impressed, and in others disappointed.
You were the chosen one!
The friendliness of the crew, legroom, and free Wi-Fi are real pluses. But the Embraer 190s need to be put out to pasture. JetBlue was the first launch customer of the plane in the United States, but they have not been refreshed since. JetBlue says they are pulling the plug and replacing the fleet with a brand new Airbus A220, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe for many more flight reviews to come. I'll see you on the next one.